Wait, is this a solo thing, or did you want me to come in?
Well, I feel like you've ruined it now. Like, what is actually the point in you? Like, I was genuinely looking forward to singing a little tune by myself, making myself feel all happy about life, and then you have to come in halfway through it, out of sync. Like, that is the most egregious part of it. You're out of sync like some sort of monster, and ruin
I'm
my
sorry.
beautiful, glorious introduction to the Clanstar show podcast thing.
Fod, music, talk, show, spiel. The spiel. Actually, that's probably already taken, I'm not going to lie.
I don't know if I can do this.
Please, Coldy, I have no friends in real life.
Oh man, I missed my calling as an actor, didn't I?
You did.
I portrayed so much emotion there. There was anger, there was sorrow, there was.
Were you not one of those little drama kids every Saturday morning? No.
No.
Look what I did.
I was a drama kid in that my parents were so poor. I was dramatically saying, "Can I please have some food?"
Oliver Twist was based on my life.
No, because he got. He was asking for more. I was just asking for some.
Jesus Christ. Welcome
to the internet.
Oh yeah, Jesus. That's a different podcast altogether. Welcome to the Clanstar Show podcast movie series on Netflix.
Extravaganza.
Yes.
It's an extravaganza, but it's a cavalcade of gaming comedy genius.
Actually, one day we'll have all Clanstar on. It'll just be all 7 people just chatting above one another.
We'll get them to introduce themselves.
I wonder how Icy would say.
We should get Icy to introduce everyone. Nice. Icy, and this is Irish Crew.
He doesn't watch any of this. This is the thing. He does not watch a single episode, right? And the day he does watch one, he'll go like, I bet you these fuckers have been saying this shit for all the other episodes. And then you'll have to watch them all again. And that'll be one extra view added to the other 5 that we get for each episode. So we're rolling in the money. That's like a maximum of 25, 30 views total.
Plus, he's great for the timer because he would waste so much time. Because he would have to, before every single sentence, say the words, "My name's Icy."
It's like a bad version of The Rock.
My name's Icy. Welcome to the Clanstar Show.
What the fuck? We should get a copy of his voice and put it in one of those tuner things anyway. Anyway, let's stop shitting on Icy because he's not here, and bless him, he doesn't watch the show yet. But today,
how's your week?
Oh, you're asking me.
Tell me about your week. What you got up to?
Valheim.
Because we're not talking gaming.
Valheim.
What we played this week, are we?
No, because it would just be Valheim, and yours would just be Final Fantasy. My week has been, my previous week has been grand, and that's Irish for okay. And
it's
you?
British for £1,000. It's been £1,000.
What has been £1,000?
Grand.
Oh yeah.
That's £1,000, isn't it?
That's true. In your language, it means £1,000.
A grand don't come for free. Fantastic album by The Streets, is it?
I know nothing of music.
They sound like Icy when they sing. My name's Icy and this is The Streets.
He doesn't have a fucking lisp. He's not fucking Scott Malkinson from fucking South Park. Fucking hell. No, we're making him fucking more fucking slow and special every fucking episode. Basically, he's gonna be Hodor by the end of this show. Anyway, Jesus Christ, we're gonna thank God no one watches this because we'd be fucking axed instantly. Anyway, we're making fun of our old friend and he's okay with it.
Yeah, he's totally okay with it. It's
Mm.
not that he doesn't know.
No,
Like,
Jesus. Every time we're on Discord.
what's the saying? If you don't know, if what you don't know can't hurt you. So
That is true. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
stays in Vegas.
You've been,
Yeah.
I haven't. Is that correct?
I have been to Vegas, yes.
I have not. It's on the bucket list, and like I think that's someplace we'll be going along with, like Japan and the pyramids, all that fucking bollocks. Anyway, Coley, you say your week is
Yes.
grand. You said your week was fan-dabby dozy or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, my week was okay. Nicola went on a hen to Blackpool, so I had 3 nights to myself with my dog.
For our overseas viewers, listeners, what is a hen?
Oh, that's when one of our friends is getting married, so they all go on a trip. Basically, the female version of a stag do or a bachelor party. Is that
That's.
what
I was about to say you're going stag. That's like everyone knows what a stag is. Do you know what a hen is? Do you know what a stag is? But overseas is a bachelorette party and a bachelor party.
Yes,
that's basically what. No midgets, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they called midgets? Little people, dwarfs? I don't know. Just people? Sure.
Yeah. Vertically challenged, I think is the correct term.
I don't know what it is.
Challenged.
Stuff has changed all the time. I know a guy and he liked being called a dwarf. He thought it was fucking. He was pretty cool. Bless him. Anyway.
Did he say, "Great to meet you. Pull up a chair by the hearth."
Jesus Christ.
That was Scottish guy doing a Scottish accent.
That is actually true. You get away with it, but people know that what you're trying to do. Oh my god, this episode's gone tits up already. It's gone tits up. Like when we're famous in 10 years because of this, we're gonna get pulled down instantly. We're gonna be on. Yeah, we're gonna be on the Saturday morning show, and then all of a sudden they're gonna play this out of nowhere and just like put you on the spot, and you're gonna go like. We're
going to get cancelled, aren't we? Cancel culture of like
small leg syndrome.
You sent a tweet in 2013 saying that your foot kind of looks like your da and your band forever. Sorry,
my foot.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, let's go with that. Aye, so I had a great week. It's fine. I played more of the Yuffie DLC from Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's a lot of fun. The mini game in it, the little
kind of XCOM style.
Fort Condor XCOM thing, yeah, that's great fun. Like,
it looked good.
I could play a full version of that game, like, just in itself. So, yeah, great game, great DLC. It doesn't bring the story forward anymore. It just adds context to the already existing story.
Of why is she here? Why are we there? What is going on?
Yeah.
That's good. My
name's Icy and this is... I'll stop.
Fucking... Just to let everyone know, right? We've been online 20 minutes before this, and he's been saying that to himself. I'll jump in and say, like, I've been saying the same thing as well. But we were saying it for about 15 minutes straight, and then you just said, press start. Let's go. This is golden. It's not golden. It's just funny to us. No one cares. No,
it's just offensive to Icy.
I can't wait for him to actually watching it. He's gonna say, "Where will I start?" And we'll just say, "Start episode 6. Probably the best one." Anyway, so today's episode is very special because it's all about this man here. This man.
Me?
And his brain. Yes, it's you. Like I'm trying to pretend. Yeah, this is all about you.
So you've not done a list.
Right. So okay, he doesn't know what we're doing. I'm producing this show. Okay, he's just one of the actors on it. Right. We pay him. We don't pay him much. Okay, we don't pay him a lot. That's a different story. Please, sir. Anyway, we won't go into that. But yes, today's episode is all about this man's top 10 games ever.
No.
Ever.
No,
it is.
No,
you gave me a list.
No. It is a list. You gave me some ground rules, so we discussed this already. If I was to give you my top 10 games ever,
Yes.
there would be a lot of similar games in there, shall we say? So you gave me the rule to say you have to come up with a list of 10 games, but you're only allowed one game from each franchise. So if there's multiple games you like in a franchise, you have to pick your favourite one. So,
Bit of mime there. Or
I don't.
yeah.
Have you considered a career in fake, what you call it, sign language?
Well, like that guy in Africa. Do you remember him?
There was a woman, like, I don't know if you've seen this on the
Segue.
news, but
We need to have a segue transition where it hits the music going segue, and then it goes into what we're talking about. Go on, sorry. Don't. My name's Arthur, and this is a segue. Oh my god! We're going to hell. We're going to hell. The poor cat is looking at me like I'm special. I am. Wow. Anyway, poor fucking Icy. We should have an Icy count at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
For anyone who actually does watch this episode, please put how many times you say "My name's Icy" in the comments and let us know how many times we've done it.
Oh, poor Icy, but that's hilarious.
I love you too, Nimrod.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I seen a woman in America where she was like, she wasn't even getting paid for it. It was like a volunteer job where she was standing next to a politician doing the sign language of what the politician was saying. But literally, she didn't do no sign language. So she was just doing this with her hands, and everybody just let her do it for like an hour.
It's an interpretive dance. That's like your man in Africa. He was standing beside the politician. And then he started doing this. He started doing this and doing all of this. And then he got caught. And then he basically came out and said, like, yeah, he has no training. He was just asked to stand beside the priest, the politician, wherever it was. Anyway, we're fucking segueing like a motherfucker here.
We are segueing like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it's already been.
Come up with a list of 10 games.
Yes.
And these are not necessarily my 10 favourite games of all time, but they are 10 of my favourite games from each franchise. So, like, I'm only allowed one from each franchise.
So don't say any names because it looks like you're about to say a name there. We'll keep this a secret.
I'm not about to say any.
Stum.
I can't unfortunately fill it with all of the Ace Attorney games. So. Or all of the Halos, which I've never played before. Because Halo sucks. But I have hot take there.
Good. Now, so he gave me the list earlier today, and what I have done is I'm just going to randomly pick one of the 10, and he's just going to tell us why and how, and I'm going to say, no, why, how? Why'd you do this? What's this in here for? Oh my god, this game is shit. But it means a lot to me. I played it when I was young. All that shit. That's what you're going to say, yeah?
I thought we were going to cut away to Icy going, my name's Icy and this is number 10. No? And then a big graphic of number 10 pop
I'm going to segue for a second, right? Do you know the way you can go on a Fiverr and pay people to say, like things? I kind of want to get, like a kid who kind of resembles what we're going for and give him, like, number 10! My name's Icy, number 10! Or do you know the guys, you know the very famous guys, I think they're from India, where they're like just sitting outside the house and he's like Mr. President for Trump and all this type of stuff, but they don't know what they're saying. Like there's a big drama about it. Like they just say whatever that's given to them. But anyway, segueing back to the actual fucking point, because it's been nearly an hour and a half and we still haven't talked about it. Because we're gonna probably blow through these pretty quickly anyway. It's only gonna be an hour long show. Don't worry, we're professionals. We're on a strict time thing. And so anyway, The
Anyway,
first one up.
are you telling
That.
me the name of the game, or are you going to give me a
Oh, I'm
number?
going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. Don't be worrying. The first game I picked out of your list, which I am agreeing with, oh, we'll talk about it, is Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Yes.
And why is
Um.
this beast of a
So
game in your top 10?
yeah. So spoilers for the rest of the list. This is my only Nintendo game on the whole list. I don't have anything against Nintendo. I have a Nintendo Switch. I do love a lot of Nintendo games. I just don't love them that much. I don't love them as much as I love most of or all of the games on this list. Obviously, otherwise they would be on it.
Mm.
I think Nintendo's just fine. They make fun games, but they don't have any um, complexity or depth to their storytelling. They just make fun gameplay. Generally, is how I find their stuff.
Do you think if it's not broke, don't fix it?
Yeah. I don't expect a massive Mario backstory 800-hour RPG that goes into why he's a plumber and why he wears a red hat or anything like that. So I leave Nintendo to do their own thing, and I'll occasionally hop in their games and then hop back out.
Mm.
But Zelda Ocarina of Time, is it the best functional Zelda game? Maybe not. But is it the best Zelda game? Absolutely. And I say that knowing full well that a million people will argue with me that Majora's Mask is the
Probably only
best
two.
Zelda
Don't
game.
forget, we only get 10 people watching the show.
Yeah, so Majora's Mask isn't the best game Ocarina of Time is. I think it's better storytelling. It just stuck in my memory as a kid. I say a kid, I was what, about 11 when it came out, maybe. Yeah, it just
I would
stuck
say
in my
about that,
memory.
yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I like the mechanic of going from young Zelda to grown up Zelda using the
Mm-hmm.
ocarina, much more than I like the mechanic of you've only got like 30 minutes before the day resets in Majora's Mask and then you need to go do it all again. That kind of, I don't like time limits in games. That frustrates me. So I didn't really enjoy Majora's Mask that much as a result. But Ocarina of Time, it's a fantastic game. It's one of the best um, examples of an open world kind of almost Metroidvania style where you get new abilities to be able to go to new places and stuff like that. It's just the best example of all that. It's got a great little play on the storytelling with the time travel, being able to jump back and forward in time. The ocarina is just a fun game mechanic. Like to the point where I can tell you anyone who's played that game can remember all of the tunes that you can play on it. The do 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 do. Like everyone can remember those. Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Did it make
Um
you want to buy an ocarina?
no.
Oh, just me then.
Yeah, for one, until I played Zelda, I had no fucking idea what an ocarina was, and I
Pretty much the
think
same.
to this day, I think I'm like, I don't like if I seen an ocarina that wasn't the one from Zelda, would I know it's an ocarina? Probably not. Like, so, no, it didn't make me want to buy an ocarina. But it did make me want to play more Zelda games. And I had a Game Boy at the time, so I went back and played Link's Awakening
Mm.
and A Link to the Past, I think, as well, off the back of it, and really enjoyed them. Just nothing holds a candle to Ocarina of Time for me. It's the best Zelda game. Did
And
you say you agreed or disagreed?
I agree. I agree. It is. See, I had. See, it's on my list. I don't even know even if I should get into it. I kind of want to get to all your stuff, but I won't get into it really because it's a big long story. But I agree. I agree. Ocarina of Time is the superior I don't even want to say superior. I just think it is the best of the Zelda franchise.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to
Breath
talk.
of the Wild, that would be the only one that I would say makes me rethink a lot about Ocarina of Time. I just no. You're doing that constipated face that you do when you don't like things.
Oh, Breath of the Wild was fine. It was no more than fine. It's a 7 out of 10.
Ah!
Um,
Oh shit!
yeah, the open worldness of it was good. I liked the I liked you know what my favorite thing about that game is?
You
I
gave it a
liked that
7 out of 10.
it didn't have any markers. It didn't have any map markers. It was just like go explore the world, do what you want, and in a world of Ubisofts and Grand Theft Autos and stuff where your map is just like littered with markers and shit to do. That was quite refreshing. But it's a 7 out of 10. The combat is okay at best, and it's really held back by the weapon degradation
Degradation. Yeah,
system
yeah.
because
I'll agree with that.
all that does is it makes you not use your good weapons. It achieves nothing else than you
Are you
to have
crying
the
about
fact
this?
that no, but it does though. It gives you it leads you to the fallacy of this is too good to use. And when a game does that, I think it's failed miserably in
Mm.
its game design and its mechanics. When you get something really awesome and you want to use it, but your brain goes, but I might need it later. This is too good to use. So you end up finishing the game never having used it. That is what weapon degradation does in a game to the point only when the weapon breaks and you can't repair it. And that was the issue I had with um, Breath of the Wild, and that's why it's a 7 out of 10. It
Mm.
fundamentally failed in game mechanics, and as a game, when you fail at game mechanics, you need to be held accountable for that.
I see. I see. I see. Not I see. I see.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
So we'll move swiftly on to the second game of the hat, which is a game that I am not familiar with in the slightest. Like, I've never played it. I don't even know exactly what it's about. I'm obviously looking at gameplay now, but it is The Binding of Isaac.
Wow, you've never played
Explain,
the bind. Okay,
because
so the Binding of Isaac, I have the most time in on my Steam library. I have over 700 hours playing this game.
how?
Um, and not only that, but I also own it on my Switch and on my PlayStation as well. Um, it is it's just so good. It is literally so to explain it in layman's terms, it's a roguelite. It's probably one of the first roguelites, or at least the first successful ones.
Rogue
Where
likes.
yes,
Just
roguelite.
for our international fans, because they might need a bit of subtitles on that one. Right, just saying.
Yeah, so basically it's each run, if you're successful, lasts maybe any time between half an hour and an hour, depending on how strong your build is. It is basically you go through floors. I think there's like 10 floors. And there's different routes and stuff you can take to get alternate versions of floors that are harder or easier depending on how confident you feel with your run. You pick up items. You get an item per floor, and you get an item off the boss. So 2 items per floor generally. There's ways to get more and all that sort of stuff, secrets in there, but that's the general rule.
Is he throwing his
Um,
tears at people?
yes,
Okay.
the
That wasn't. Oh, okay.
I'm going to give you a very quick load dump then for you, right? So that's the basic mechanics. You pick up items. The items all synergize together. So you'll pick up an item that maybe shoots a laser, and then you'll pick up another item that auto tracks your tears to hit enemies, and now your laser will fly about all the screen, tracking everything and hitting everything. It's amazing. It makes you feel like a fucking god. I recommend you Google uh, broken Isaac builds and just see some of this stuff that happens. It's so much fun. But yeah, the basic lore is you are Isaac, a
Mm-hmm.
small child whose mum is a religious fanatic. His dad leaves her because of her religious fanaticism, and she locks him in the basement, where he dies, basically. And the story is just him, like, in theory, it's him locked in a
Purgatory?
base. No, he's not dead yet. He's locked in the basement, and he's trying to get out. And all the enemies you fight, like spiders and flies and stuff like that, are things that he says that sees in the basement. And he's kind of just like keeping his mind occupied by fake creating this game. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
So it's a very, very dark story. Extremely
I can
dark.
fucking tell because he's shooting a baby right now or something that's chasing him.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
there's like poop enemies and all that because he's shit himself. He's sitting in his own shit and all that sort of stuff. It's like it's very, very dark as the story, but you really don't need to pay any attention. The simple fact is the gameplay loop is second to none. Like, and I mean that. Like, there's not another game on this list, I believe, that has better just pure gameplay than The Binding of Isaac. Obviously, more than gameplay makes up a game, which is why it's not at the top of my list, but it's pretty damn close. Um, I think I put it at like number 4 or number 5, like halfway. Um,
Well,
yeah,
I'm putting that at number 2. Because
it's fantastic. It is just one of the best. It is the gold standard in roguelites. So if you have any interest in other roguelites like Slay the Spire
Risk of
or
Rain? Is that not a roguelike?
Hades, yeah, Risk of Rain, Hades, that is it Deep Rock Galactic? Is that the one that you played?
We played. It's the one with the dwarfs.
Yeah,
Mine and
yeah.
stuff.
All of these roguelites kind of like take their take their basis, I think, from The Binding of Isaac and try to make it better. There's some games that come close. I think that Hades is obviously an S tier example of roguelites, and I think that what you call it, Enter the Gungeon is probably an S tier as well,
Mm.
and Spelunky probably. The rest of them are just they don't hold a candle. So yeah,
Right.
that's in my top 10 purely based on the gameplay and the amount of hours I've put into it. How could I play that much and not say it's brilliant?
Wow. Okay. Binding of Isaac, about a child locked in a basement
Yep.
who's
It reminds me of my
playing.
childhood. That's why it's all nostalgia.
Wow. Okay, so we're gonna tiptoe.
Let's play on.
Jesus Christ. Let's just play on. So the next one that I picked out of the hat, it kind of suits the following the Binding of Isaac now, since the Binding of Isaac, for fuck's sake, can't even get out of my mouth, is kind of that dark. And the next one is Silent Hill. You picked Silent
Yes.
Hill.
I
Now,
did pick Silent
later
Hill.
on, I will bring up Silent Hill again, but for now, interesting choice. I kind of would have never thought this one for you.
Why would you think that?
Why I would have never thought? Because of what else is on the list.
Yeah, so Silent Hill it's almost a nostalgia pick.
Mm-hmm.
It is a great game. It's 50-50 between Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2. I can't really pick a favourite. I just put Silent Hill just to get the franchise name in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're both games that I grew up on and became like almost like a social structure. Like everyone in school was talking about, and there's another game on this list that's like that as well that I'll get to.
Everyone
But
knows.
it's just everyone knew it. Everyone talked about it. Everyone was like, "Oh, did you get to that part in Silent Hill? Oh, did you do this in Silent Hill? Did you know that if you go to school and do this in Silent Hill, this that?" Like it was, everyone was obsessed with it. And I remember like playing it, and I played it end to end in one sitting one morning when I was hungover. I was maybe like 15, and it was like my first time drinking, and I was so rough the next day. And I just sat for like 10 hours and played Silent Hill and was terrified and loved every minute of it. Even now, I go back and like I don't necessarily play it so much because I know the controls are a bit jank now. But I do like watching people play it. Like the Scary Game Squad recently done a run of Silent Hill 2, which was just brilliant. But yeah,
very atmospheric for the time, and it kind of
yeah,
took the
I think
survival horror kind of up a notch by kind of went in a very out there type of way. Like usually it's kind of like zombies or this is just I don't even know what fucking monsters these are. Do you know what I mean? It just kind of
it's psychological horror, whereas the other one on the list is gore and violence. This is more psychological. This is scared of what you can't see more than what you can, which is kind of my kind of horror. When I'm watching stuff, I would rather watch a horror film like Sinister than a horror film like Freddy versus Jason, where it's all blood and guts and stuff. So
gotcha.
yeah, and it's just a brilliant game as well. Really well made. The music is outstanding. I still remember
That's
the
the
opening
thing that
music.
makes survival horrors, I think, kind of stand out.
Yeah,
Mostly among the pack. Like the gameplay is usually always the same. Nearly in most survival horrors, you're kind of in this big area where you're kind of lost or you're on your own, and you kind of venture through it, solving these type of puzzles and all that. But the music, I think, lends to pushing certain survival horrors over the top. Like the other game that's on this list, I nearly know like every single music. I nearly know nearly every beat of where that music kicks in, that type of stuff. It's just that shit lives with you. So I have
yeah.
one extra little question is, so did you enjoy playing PT when it got released?
Yes. Again, that's a game that has no real villain in it. Yes, yeah, you can get caught by the woman, and you die immediately, and that's it. But 99% of that game is just um, scaring yourself almost, hearing a squeak and being scared of it, and just walking through the same hallway over and over. I want so badly for that game to exist. That
Which
Hideo,
brings me to it. Rumor has it that he is working with people on the Silent Hill game.
but I don't know how that would work because is he not fell out with Konami?
I don't know. It's just like I could be completely getting
I
like
can see
sucked
him.
in.
I can see him going. Yeah, this was the game I was going to make. Let's just make it and not call it Silent Hill. Like I can see him doing that. But
Yeah, Kojima's kind of gonna be fucking. How can I put this? He's kind of gone a bit off the fucking rails, in my opinion.
he's
With
one of those
Death
people who,
Stranding, I think
yeah,
and then this director's cut that's coming out, considering he is the
yeah,
one who owns the company and the game. Why is it not? Anyway, that's a whole different fucking story for another game. We'll move on. Silent Hill, once again, good choice. Good choice. Good choice. Good choice.
great games, great
As I
games.
said, it's an odd choice because of what is later on. But the next one, I like this choice, right?
Okay, you don't
I
sound confident. I don't believe that you like
You
this
don't
choice.
believe? No, no, no. I love this choice because it's a great game. It wouldn't have been in my top 10,
Okay.
but it is Batman Arkham City, isn't
Arkham
it?
City. Yes, Arkham
Yes.
City. The absolute pinnacle in superhero games. There's nothing else to say about it. It literally is. It's everything that you want in a superhero game. Batman Arkham City has it. Arkham Asylum has it to an extent, but it is slightly restricted by the world that you're in and that you're only in Arkham Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love that in some games, and particularly in movies and TV shows. I like single location stuff. I think it's way more interesting to have a single location be a character in something you're watching than something like Fast and the Furious that goes to 800 different locations and this scene we're
Yeah, but
in.
they have family.
They do have family. There's no getting around that.
Sorry, I had to put that joke in since everyone's doing that joke these days.
Yeah. Yeah, so I like single location things, but I just think Arkham City is just an improvement on Arkham Asylum in every way. The world feels brilliant to go around in. Like there's like you can find content at every corner, Easter eggs at every corner. Oh, here's a poster for the flying Graysons and stuff like that. It's just
No, I agree. Absolutely. I just to jump in, when I played the game, usually I'm not really a full completionist, but
yeah.
I think I did try and get I got 90 something percent in this game for full completion. And I think one or two of the things you can't get a full 100% unless you know ahead of time to do something, or something gets blocked off and you can't get it. I think it's got something to do with the Riddler's
Trophies,
thing,
yeah.
you know? But I just, because I enjoyed playing Arkham City mainly because I love characters and I love like fucking exploring and getting to know every single character. And I knew that there was a truck ton of villains in this game that you basically kind of had to find, like Calendar Man's hidden, Killer Croc is hidden, like all these different. You wouldn't know that they were there when in your first playthrough.
Yeah.
But then when you jump back into the world, you're like, what's down this alleyway? And you might find a bleeding fucking manhole cover. You go down and it's killer, whatever the fuck it might be.
I think I remember at one point you just you walk into this random warehouse that all the other ones you can't get into, but this one for some reason you can walk into it, and it's got fucking Mr. Freeze in it, just chilling. Is it Mr. Freeze? Someone?
Sorry, he's good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
You're very good.
My name's Mr. Freeze.
Oh my god. My name's Archie, and I'm chilling. He's getting more. We're getting worse and worse. Is poor. We're trying to chuck as many ices as we can into one episode.
Yeah,
and we're doing great at it. I have to admit, we're doing really good.
Yeah, and why that's the best game is, let's not talk about Arkham Origins, because in theory, Arkham Asylum 9 out of 10 game. Arkham City 10 out of 10 game, because they improved on everything on the original. How they fucked that franchise up, it blows my mind. Arkham Origins is just a mess. It's just an absolute mess, and it should never have existed. The simple fact that Batman has more gadgets in Arkham Origins than he does in Arkham Asylum is just stupid. Why is it even a thing? I think that it was more floaty. It didn't feel right. There was clearly not as much love put into it. It was a lot more just empty rooms to fight zombies, bad guys. And yeah, it was just a bit drab. And then Arkham Knight was great. It was as good as Arkham City if it didn't have the Batmobile in it. I think the world was just as interesting as Arkham City's, but the Batmobile content just ruined it. It was just so annoying. It was forced. It was like, I can't be arsed driving about blowing up robots because Batman doesn't kill people. It sucked. It just sucked. I didn't. I wanted the Batmobile to just be able to drive about. I didn't want to start fighting non-man, what was the story they gave for it? They were like non-manned mechanical robot tanks that honestly don't have people in them, we promise, so you can blow up. That shit just annoyed me. It could have been great as well because the world is brilliant. The combat is as good as Arkham City's, but it just didn't have the care and love put into it, and that's why Arkham City's there. But I've completed that game maybe like 7 times, and that's more than enough reason to put it in my top 10. I love it. Brilliant Batman
And
game, best superhero game.
ooh, okay. No, I probably would agree, but I'm not sure I know that many. But
You
Devil's
mean you've not played
Advocate.
Superman for the N64?
Oh Jesus Christ! Don't even go there. Everyone kind of like who's a gamer, a proper gamer, knows about Bleed Superman. The madness of that one. But I would jump in and say, are you excited or cautiously excited or anywhere near emotional null towards the new one that I believe is it 4 player or 2 player?
So there's two.
There's no
I know.
Batman. That's all I know. Yeah, am I correct? Batman's like
Yeah,
fucking. I don't think he's dead, but I think that's the story.
yeah. So there's Gotham Knights, isn't there? Which is
Yes.
the co-op um thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's and also alongside it is there not like a Left 4 Dead kind of 4-man version of Batman coming out as well?
Not sure.
Honestly,
Gotham Knights.
look,
Excited? Yay or nay? Are your balls
nay,
tingling? No, they're not.
no,
Your
no,
balls are normal. Fair enough.
yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll move swiftly on before something else tingles.
okay.
I know. I don't know where I was going with that. Not gonna lie. But anyway, I will swiftly. I'm gonna use that word again. Oh my gosh, he's in the show! I don't pay for actors.
Cron shouting at you for being in the shot.
Do a twirl. No, nothing.
What? He said you have to do a twirl. If you're going to be in the shot, at least get us some viewers by.
I was waiting for you to say something like that. Jesus Christ.
Right, okay,
I
sorry.
honestly thought you were mute, and I was trying to say that because I thought you were going to. Anyway. But anyway, this is actually. We were just talking about a woman. We were being very. Well, Collie was being a bit sexist if we're being real about it. Just saying. The next one actually is Tomb
Can't
Raider
wait to get
2.
cancel cultured. Yeah, Tomb Raider 2 is
Now,
again.
I will jump in very quickly. I know I'm jumping in a lot, and apologies.
No, that's
I
fine.
have never played Tomb Raider.
Any of them?
I'm not gonna lie. See this one you're playing?
Mm-hmm.
This had better graphics. So I probably played the first one for like less than 5 minutes and hated it. It was in a friend's house. I think I was going towards a waterfall and I was like, this isn't mine. And then later on, I actually bought, it was going on sale. I think it was Tomb Raider 4. It was the one where it's like she's always just getting bet up all the fucking time. And someone else played it instead of me. That's it. That's all the experience I have in this game.
Tomb Raider 2 is the best Tomb Raider, and anyone who disagrees with me is wrong. And I'm including the modern Tomb Raiders that are basically just fake Uncharted. They are puzzle games. There's no other way to describe it. They are literally fancy environment puzzle games. Like to this day, I can remember finding, like, looking at something and going, is that an angle where I can walk on, or is it an angle that she's going to slide down? And I have such weird, vivid memories of like going through vents and ducts and trying to get through the fan in time and stuff like that, and the underwater levels, and she's drowning and sharks are chasing me and trying to find the entrance to the cave. Like the Tomb Raider games, the old ones, were the closest to exploration and environment puzzles as you were going to get in the PlayStation 1 era. They were just good fun. Um, Also, it's a nostalgia pick because it's another one of those games that me and my friends and everybody at school was talking about. Oh, did you manage to get past the
Looks like the water temple.
Venice? Did you manage to get past Venice? It's dead hard. How did you do it? Where did you go? Like, because the the levels were so big in scope, at least they felt like that when you were 11, and complicated, you would just get lost in them. And when you finally figured out what you were doing, it was like this sense of achievement that you never got up until that point in gaming, or at least I didn't. I think that they're absolutely brilliant games. I think they're underrated, even though people obviously have a nostalgia love for Tomb Raider. I think the old ones, Tomb Raider 1, 2, 4, for the original PlayStation 1, are exceptional. They're for their time. Obviously, they're very aged and very dated now, but for their time, they're exceptional. I think that PlayStation 2 and 3 era Tomb Raiders were obviously awful, for want of a better word. That Edge of Darkness, is that one? Was that the name of it? The one where she was in London and it was like an RPG, and
Wasn't that a fucking Tom Cruise movie?
Is it? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
no, that's Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we move on?
Yeah, so Tomb Raider, great game. That's on my list. It was actually number 10 on my list, so it just squeezed in there. Because I know it's not mechanically the best game in the world. I know there's not much story to it, but it's just a personal pick, really, rather than this is one of the 10 best games of all time kind of
thing. Which brings us to our next pick, which is one that I agree on.
You've not 100%. Said that much.
What?
You've not said that much.
Because I'm letting you split. These are your emotions. These are your thoughts. When we come to mine, which will be like on episode 26, I'll have my thoughts. They'll be quick.
Speaking of emotion, 97.3. Is that where we're going with this?
97.3?
Emotion.
No, we're not going, but I see where you were going. It was a good segue. But no.
Right,
how can we segue into this then? Okay, how can I segue? Because I'm the one that know. Yeah, we go from sexy woman to
sexy zombie woman.
Wow, we are. Yes, it is Resident Evil 2. Now, just to be clear, you put down Resident Evil 2 remake and original. But right now we're looking at the Resident Evil 2 remake, which is pure class.
Yeah, so I need to
pure class.
Yeah, I need to bundle these together because
I said so.
No, let me just explain why. So Resident Evil 2 was the first game that ever straight up blew me away with just mechanically, like how the storytelling worked. So I remember I'd been playing don't know, Metal Gear or Final Fantasy or something like that, right? And
probably Final Fantasy.
And you had multiple discs, and you play disc 1, get to disc 2, put in disc 2, and so on. Get Resident Evil 2, it's got 2 discs.
Yeah.
I'm like, right, okay. So I stick the first disc in, and I'm playing as Leon.
Because you're a man. Go on.
No, because
you're a man.
The disc I put in.
No. I know you put fucking Claire in, and you said, fuck this shit, I'm going to pick the one with the fucking man, and then you re-put the disc in. It's okay.
No.
Just admit it.
As I say, I was like a 12-year-old. I didn't know. I put I opened the disc case, picked up the first disc, put it in, and started playing the game. And it wasn't until I finished it, where it was like, okay, now play as Claire. I was expected to say insert disc 2, but it wasn't. It was like you can now play the B side of Claire. And I was like, the B side of Claire? What? Then I put the Claire disc in, the second disc in, and it was the whole game again, but from her perspective. And that just blew my tiny wee boy pea-sized mind. I was like, that is amazing. So now every part of the story where I bumped into her, I'm now playing as her, and I'm going to bump into me, was my perspective of it. And it was just amazing. I loved every minute of it. Gameplay wise, combat was brilliant. Story, 10 out of 10. Escalation, all brilliant. Like there wasn't a flaw in the original game. And the reason I bundled them together is
The remake was
no,
so damn fucking good.
yeah, no, there's no other way this could ever happen where I have loved the game and it's been remade and I love the remake even more. Um, like it just modernized Resident Evil 2 in every way that 11-year-old me loved Resident Evil 2. 35-year-old me playing Resident Evil 2 remake
Yeah,
is
he's
like,
35.
yeah, was like, oh my god, that is like, it's almost, it sounds cheesy to say, but it's almost how in your 11-year-old's head you envision it looking, because it obviously doesn't look like that, but you in your mind's eye, that's
You
what's
turn it
happening.
into a
That's what
movie.
it looks like.
That's what you do.
Yeah,
When you play it, the original, you turn that into a movie
yeah,
because you're so young and this game is 18 for 18s, and the way it's presented, the way the story is, what's it about, zombies, blah, blah, blah. You turn it into a movie. You turn it into a horror movie yourself. So,
and like you, I'm not one for platinum in games, but it is one of those games that I did platinum. You have to play it through maybe 4 times on hard and extreme and stuff like that, and I did it all. Like normally I don't do that, but I did it all,
yeah.
and I had fun in at every step of the way. I think that it's not soured. Its legacy is not soured, but it has left a bitter taste in my mouth with the Resident Evil 3 remake because that was just a bit shit.
Now,
And
now, was it a bit shit because the gameplay, the game, the whole thing was a bit shit, or let's be real, it was because of the length of the game?
no, I think that so I love Resident Evil 2, and then when I got Resident Evil 3 Nemesis when I was a kid, I loved that just as much. I thought that was just as brilliant as Resident Evil 2, and it was scarier because there was this monster chasing you that you couldn't kill. Like I know they have Mr. X in
Oh,
Resident Evil 2, but in Resident Evil 3 you had the Nemesis guy and he was brutal, and he would follow you through screens and all that. You'd be like, right, I'll go through the door. Oh, thank God. Nope, he's came through the door. He's jumped through the window. Like, it was brilliant. I loved Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. And then when the remake came out, it wasn't a survival horror game, it was an action game. Like, that's what bothered me about it. Like,
number 3 remake.
yeah, and then 3 remake, there was not once was I scared of the Nemesis monster because he was there. It was all cut scenes and set pieces that he was there
He
for, and
always he came out all the time,
yeah,
so you kind of
um,
knew he was coming every fucking time. Like that's the thing I had with it when I played number 3. Like I liked number 3. I played through it. I think did you buy me number 3?
maybe, yeah,
Something like that. But I played the living fuck out of it. But I wasn't just like you. I wasn't scared of the Nemesis really because I felt I was getting a lot of ammo. I think I played it on normal. I didn't play on easy or anything like that. But I felt like I could take him out any time. But he kept coming every scene. He kept appearing, and I felt like, for fuck's sake, I wasn't scared. Like when Mr. X came, like the first time Mr. X comes in the remake, holy shit, are you shitting yourself?
and
Like,
plus the sound design in Resident Evil 2 where you can hear Mr. X from 3 rooms away, and
yeah,
you're like, shit, he's getting closer. I'm going to have to just run to the other side of the
yeah.
building. Whereas Nemesis just popped up out of nowhere. I was like, hi, I'm Nemesis again. Go chase you, shoot my rocket launcher at you. Is that okay? Thanks.
Yeah, and think
Bye.
about it. Like, if you go back to the remake, right, Resident Evil 2 remake, Mr. X, I think he makes 3 pop up appearances
Yeah.
other than his first one throughout the game. And like one of them is like the plant area. Remember? He just jumps through
Yeah.
the fucking window and he just looks at you and you're like, ah! Like, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't watched it, watch a lot of YouTube videos of people bumping into Mr. X and then watch all the memes after that because it's just amazing.
Yeah.
The
The
game
one
is
that got
class. The
me the
game is
most.
absolutely class.
The one that got me the most was like, does he not just walk through a wall at one point? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure like you're just
yeah.
you're in the car garage or something. You just walk along and he just straight up walks through the wall at you. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah.
So good.
But yeah,
It's just
Resident
that
Evil.
mechanic just made the game nearly.
Yeah, I think just the combination of the two, Resident Evil 2 gave me the nostalgia feels, and Resident Evil 2 Remake gave me the gameplay and the storytelling from the nostalgia feel. It's really hard to get that combination. There's only
Mm.
one other game that's ever done that, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a minute. But um, yeah, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 2 Remake are one and the same.
Mm. Well, we'll jump to the next one pretty quickly. Well, I'd say
Okay.
pretty quickly, but anyway, just before we move across from the Resident Evil franchise, are you happy with the first-person shooters, or would you rather them go classic survival style, knowing what they can do now, what they've done with Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake, or would you like them to keep going with what they've done with 7 or 8? Is it 7 and 8? I think it was.
I am okay. I love 7 and 8. I thought Resident Evil Village was also brilliant.
I didn't
I
play it.
think that 7 and 8 were both great games. I think that without spoiling anything, if the Ethan story is done, then
He dies?
I'm not telling you what happens. But if I'm saying if his
Mm-hmm.
story is done, then stick a pin on it and move on. But also at the same time, if they want to just save the third person stuff for all of the remakes, because I'm sure Resident Evil 4 remake's coming, and that was third person already.
Yeah.
So if they just want to say all the third person stuff will be in the remakes, go play them. I'm alright with that. If they want to continue the main numbered franchises in first person, I'm okay with that as well. I think you can't argue with the results. They're doing a really good job. I would like a static, isometric camera, fixed camera, should I say,
Really?
survival Resident Evil again. I would like them to do that with something like Code Veronica or something. But I don't think they will. I don't think that.
I'm thinking no. I think they're gonna mix between. I think they're gonna try and milk the third person shooter and
I
keep up
think
with the
this is a
first
case
person.
of we are the old fogies here. We are
Yeah.
we're the exception where we like the old isometric games. If you gave that to a 12-year-old today, they'd probably be like, what is these tank controls? Why can't I move the camera? This is shit. What even is this? Whereas obviously we like it for the nostalgia feel.
What
So
is life? Which brings us on to another one I am a-okay with. A-okay with.
okay.
Oh, just I'm right now. I'm just
Is
listening
this
to all the radio.
emotion? What
Emotion.
is
Do not. It
emotion?
is I. What is it? It is I.
uh,
It's not Laszlo. Who's does that? It's
no,
I. Welcome.
Fernandez.
It is I, Fernandez. Something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm here to help you. It is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Fuck
Yes.
yes, and that's where the newest one is going. You've heard it here first. Spoiler alert. Shut us down, Rockstar. Shut us down. Please don't shut us down. But I
Do you
believe it's
really
Vice City.
think it? I
I
don't.
I keep hearing that they're bringing back a version of Vice City.
Yeah, they are bringing. I believe that they're doing a Resident Evil 2 and remaking 3 Vice City and San Andreas. As because I seen that there was a bunch of job postings for them.
Yep.
So I think that they're just doing a Konami and remaking those 3 and making a separate new Grand Theft Auto on its own. It's really hard because they obviously make so much money off of GTA 5 that there's literally no incentive.
And also San Andreas. I seen that the other day. The games. There's a video of the top 10 games over the past like fucking 30 years or something like that. Revenue and all that. And San Andreas is in the top 10 for an god awful long time. and I think it still is. I think it's number 8 on the list. Grand Theft Auto Online, number 5 or wherever the fuck. I think it's third. Then you have like Minecraft, blah 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 blah, Fortnite, all that shit. But it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous the amount of money these fuckers make. It's well earned though. The game's fucking amazing.
Yeah, the game's amazing. I think that I picked Vice City just because it's my favourite one. I think the story is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It harkens to days of like Goodfellas and
Scarface, but it's basically
Casino
Miami
and stuff.
Vice. You know?
Yeah. And the soundtrack is outstanding. The 80s setting with all the neon and stuff like that is brilliant. I could probably draw you the map of that game. Like, if you sat me down with a pen and paper and says, draw what the roads look like and the maps and the locations, I could probably do it. I put so much time into it when I was a kid. It was literally my place to get lost. Like, when I was having a shit day or when I was feeling down or not happy, I'd stick on Vice City.
And just kill everyone. Kill your worries away. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. I am Fernandez.
It is I, Fernandez. Is that what you were looking up on your phone?
No, I am not looking anything up on my phone. I'm playing with a straw. You jerk.
I'm the jerk. You're playing with a straw.
Yeah, so Grand Theft Auto Vice City, it's the best Grand Theft Auto. Anyway, it's got fucking Ray Liotta in it. What is the matter with you? It is the best Grand Theft Auto by a country mile.
That's where I think number 4 dropped the bucket. Their fucking radio channels weren't the best.
Yeah, they tried, didn't they? But they just weren't as memorable at all.
No.
Like, they just weren't. And then 5 is the same. 5's radio stations it was like fucking just Justin Bieber and Beyonce and shit. And it's like, if I want to listen to that, I'll turn on the actual radio. Like, because even San Andreas, which was early 90s, so it was relatively modern setting, still had great radio stations and memorable radio stations, but 4 and 5 just completely failed in that front.
No, 100% agree. Vice City, amazing. Just like you just, like, after you clear the game, you just jump in and, like, you fuck about, listen to the music, you know?
Park up and just listen to the music and the radio stations.
It was just amazing.
What was your favourite advert from Vice City? Do you remember any of them? I liked, what was the...
I need to hear them all again, and then I know exactly...
Rusty Brown's Ring Donuts. I like to like lovingly round the outside and then thrust my tongue in the middle. Shady Acres.
Remember Shady Acres? Oh my god!
We'll make the old people put them to work. Ow, my prostate.
It was so good. And the thing about GTA is that, fingers crossed it stays the way, but it kind of like, it's not afraid to be offensive.
No, it's not. But
you know?
I think the problem it has is it has become the thing that it was mocking back in like Vice City and San Andreas and stuff, with all the anti-corporatism and all the funny stuff, making fun of the movie industry and all that, and the gaming industry. It's kind of become its own joke. It's no longer satire. It just is, and it needs to find the satire again. It needs to get kind of out of that seriousness and be a little bit funny. Don't go as goofy as Saints Row, but be a little bit funny again. Be a little bit
tongue in cheek.
Tongue in cheek, yeah. Like, that's just my own personal take on it, I think.
And do you remember your favorite car?
Favorite car? And
yes.
Yeah, like the...
Pick one. Just pick one.
Sentinel.
Okay. My favorite was the Comet. Basically the Porsche 911.
But it blew up after 3 seconds. That was the issue with
it. It handled so well.
I did like the Banshee as well. The Banshee was a good one.
That was a hooer to fucking control.
Yeah.
The Banshee was basically the Dodge Viper, yeah? The Dodge Viper? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, but if you were able to control the Banshee, You would win every single street
Control
race.
the
Like,
Benji.
yeah, you were a god.
I remember
Right.
just in Grand Theft Auto 3, Sentinel, but the Mafia Sentinel.
Yeah.
Oof.
Great car.
Oof. Oof.
Handled like a dream. Was all
Oh,
black, so it was nice and
Jesus.
edgelordy.
Yes.
And it was
Yes.
fast.
Oof, I remember those days. We'll move on because we're just near the end. We're just near the end, guys.
Yeah.
Everyone
Nearly
watching.
there.
We're nearly there. We got three more. And they just keep getting better. So
So
far,
do you agree with this next one?
oh, fuck, man. Oh, do I agree? Jesus. The next one is Snake. 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 Dun, 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 dun. I used to listen to fucking this soundtrack, like mainly from Metal Gear Solid 2, but I used to listen to Metal Gear Solid soundtracks all the time. They're just
Yeah, I love the Metal Gear Solid 2
oh.
soundtrack.
Oh my god, it's not
Hi,
a
Gregson
solo.
Williams.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
Just oh my,
fantastic.
it's just such epic music, epic game, epic story until he went fucking mental. But yes,
So spoilers ahead. We're probably going to talk about the
this
ending.
episode's a spoiler in general.
Yeah, to Metal Gear Solid, but I picked Metal Gear. Like, to be honest, I know that Metal Gear Solid 2 gets a lot of hate because you're not playing as Snake for most of it. You're playing as Raiden, but I love Metal Gear Solid 2, and it's really hard for me to pick between Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2. I gave the nod to Metal Gear Solid just because it was the first one,
Oh
basically.
no, hands down,
Um,
it is. It is.
Metal Gear Solid is a phenomenal game. Like, gameplay, I'd never played a game like it. The stealth mechanics, whose footprints are these? What? The guy can see my footprints? What? Are you crazy? Like, everything about the first Metal Gear Solid is brilliant. The little Kojima things with the controller going into the second port, what a genius. Like, go find Meryl, but she's the one who's got a nice arse and Metal Gear and PlayStation
Wiggle.
1.
She wiggled. You know the art
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Basically, the game was saying, go look at all their arses and see which one has a nice wiggle on it. Like, how can you not respect that? That's brilliant. Um, and then do you remember if you like chased her back to the bathroom quick enough, you could catch her in her underwear. Um, like
No,
Like, you know that cut scene where you finally meet her and
no.
she's in the bathroom?
I'm gonna
Like,
jump in on this one.
mm,
Having the codec on the box you physically own.
yeah, that's some anti-piracy shit right there, isn't
That is just fucking masterful. Masterful.
Yeah, and it could only happen in the 90s in a time without the internet.
Fucking hell. Like, so back in the day, before all of this shite with kiddos and all that, Fortnite and all that bollocks, to get a loan of a game sometimes, you would actually give your friend a game and they would give you a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they do that in Scotland or whatever it is. They rob stuff, I don't know. Swapsies. So I had to get a loan of Metal Gear Solid, right? But I gave him Ridge Racer. And everyone knows that Ridge Racer was the very first game on the PlayStation. Because if you turn it sideways, you see the code on the bottom 0001. That's how you know the lineup, blah, 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 blah. So I traded Ridge Racer for Metal Gear Solid. I got a loan of that, played the bollocks out of it, gave it back to him, and then I got a loan of another game because he still wanted to play Ridge Racer, which is actually on this list. And it actually is not one we've mentioned so far. Continue.
Right, okay.
Which means, I'm just saying, like this guy had all the cool games. I'm going to say that.
You got some mileage out of Ridge Racers, what you're
I
saying.
that's basically what I'm trying to say. Is that Ridge Racer got some mileage out of me. Pun intended from Coldy.
Plus, Rage Racer was the better game.
Rage Racer.
Rage Racer and Ridge Racer. Because Ridge Racer was a Rage Racer was the opening to Ridge Racer, and Ridge Racer was
Ridge
Rage Racer.
Racer. Oh.
Rage Racer was like, Rage Racer, start your engines and let's
Oh my god.
get it on.
But anyway, we're going back to Metal Gear. It's
yeah, the twist at the end, like I was saying with Resident Evil 2, where it blew my pea-sized brain that you could play the whole game as someone else and see their side of the story. This blew my mind when everything that you had done in the game, you were tricked into doing. It had a total would you kindly moment to it, but it was like, oh shit, I thought I was turning off the nuclear weapon, but I was actually turning it on. Oh shit. It was just so cool. I loved it. I loved the villain. I thought Liquid Snake was brilliant.
Jumping ahead again. If this was made into a real live action movie of your choice, even though I know it's being made right now with Isaac, what's his name? Oscar Isaac is playing Solid Snake and Liquid Snake. Yeah, you know Oscar Isaac?
Let me Google Oscar Isaac.
He plays Poe Dameron in Star Wars.
Oh, not him. That's a terrible casting for Snake.
Can I give you the best casting? But they missed their chance. Their best chance was Christian Bale 10 years ago. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Christian Bale, listen, he's Welsh, does a really good American accent. A serious fuck. I can envision that guy playing Solid Snake and Liquid Snake. You know, because he has all that cut. He could bring back American Psycho body. You know.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But I'm saying more.
I would like to see that Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. Is that his name? Is that how you spell it?
For fucking Game of Thrones.
Jamie Lannister. Yeah, I think he could do.
Nah, you need someone. No, I see where you're going. You need someone with a bit more.
He's older. He's a bit chiseled, like Snake is, because he's retired in Metal Gear Solid 1, isn't he?
No, I can see where you're going with it, but I'm coming from like both places. I'm coming from what I would like and what would actually make sense. Production, like Hollywood, Christian Bale, Hollywood, Nikolai Kosh, whatever fuck, Game of Thrones, whatever. Anywho, we'll jump back. Yeah. The game, it's is it mad to say it's a masterpiece?
Yeah, it is a masterpiece.
I think it is.
No doubt about it. I think when we were talking about Kojima earlier, he needs. When we were talking about that now, he needs someone to answer to.
Yeah.
He's a creative genius. He is. He's a brilliant guy.
Do you think?
He just needs someone to tell him that's a bit crap.
Yeah.
Because you've seen the writing on the wall with
Death Stranding.
Well, before Death Stranding, you've seen how Death Stranding was going to work out. When I think he was doing it, he'd done an article when he was releasing Metal Gear Solid 5, and he said that his dream game to release is a game where if you die in the game, you need to buy it again. You're dead. You get one shot in the game. If you die, it's done. And somebody had to say to him, "That's a bit stupid." I think he's just a whirlwind of ideas that just pop into his head, and he needs someone to kind of control him a little bit.
Do you think that he doesn't have anyone properly? Like, he can have people that, let's say, run his company. He can have people that own some fucking part of Kojima or whatever, but I think he needs someone who he creatively looks up to, not just someone who runs a business.
I think he just needs someone to tell him no, really, is all it is. Like, when he worked at Konami, I'm sure that he came up with all these stupid things like in Death Stranding, and they're like, no, because that's shite. But he was like, but now that he's like his own company and he's funded by Sony and he doesn't answer to anyone, he's just like, I'm going to make what I want and I don't care. Then he needs somebody to be like, are you sure that walking for 40 miles with 800 things on your back is
Postman Pa.
fun and
Postman Pa.
engagement gameplay? And like, that's what he needs. He needs somebody to tell him no. But
we'll move on because Kojima. Yeah. Kojima is like a podcast on its own for us, I'd say. We kind of.
But Metal Gear Solid, great game.
Oof.
It came out number 2 on my list.
Number 2, which means the next one that we're going to talk to isn't number 2, because we're on to number 2 now, which is a game we talk about a lot on this show, and that is World of Warcraft.
Yes.
And this is, once again, we're going to be talking about, I know what Coldy is talking about. I believe you're talking about Vanilla, Burning Crusade, and Wrath of the Lich King.
Correct.
That's what I would assume, and let me see, I'm right. That is mine is exactly the same. Yeah. Hands down. But so, your experience.
World of Warcraft now is shit. It's a game that wastes your time, doesn't value you as a player, and doesn't care about anything that you want to do. It just wants to direct you to what they want you to do and how quickly or slowly they want to do it. They almost have a weird obsession with controlling their player base. It's so pathetic. But World of Warcraft Vanilla to Wrath of the Lich King is some of the best
adventures.
Social moments, adventures I have or will ever have. And World of Warcraft, the current state of World of Warcraft can't take those memories away from me. It is outstanding. It's like, as I say, some of my greatest memories are just random shit in that game. Like, I remember I don't know if I've told the story on this, but I remember I started a war in Northrend with like 800 people because I was down chatting to like the little walrus folk in Northrend, like down by the coast.
Borean Tundra? I think it's the Borean Tundra, no? Bottom left part of Northrend.
No, it's in Dragon's Blight. It's right at the bottom of Dragon's Blight.
I thought it was good there, but no.
I was in there and I was trying to hand in a quest in a horde, and I played on a PvP server because those existed at the time. It wasn't switch on and off when you can be arsed. It was literally if you were on a PvP server, you were PvPing, and that was it. And yeah, this one dick wouldn't let me hand my quest in. He was level 80. I was like level 75 or whatever. Just kept killing me. And so I got my mate Martin and a couple of other people for the guild over, and we ganked him for like 10 minutes until he eventually got some of his mates. And I'm not joking, we crashed the server. Like, by the end of it, there was like 800 people each side just smashing each other at this little fucking mini quest village at the bottom of Dragonblight, and it's one of my greatest memories in gaming of all time. I loved it. And that came about by you having to be out in the world. You're not out in the world anymore. You're standing in Stormwind or you're standing in Orgrimmar, and you're not actually doing anything. You're just waiting your queue for your queue to pop. But yeah, those 6 years of World of Warcraft will be in my memory till the day I die. I love that game. I love that franchise. I just hate what's happened to it, and I hate the company that owns and abuses it and has no
fucking clue. They just don't have a clue right now. They just don't.
They don't know how to tell a good story. Like
everyone's stepping down, by the way. The woman who we talked about, she's at the stepping away now.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, fuck this, I'm out. Because they haven't a fucking clue. We'll probably talk again. There's going to be probably more. Every week there's drama with Blizzard. Every fucking week.
Yeah.
We could talk
And
about
that, and
it.
that's a
Is.
shame.
It
That's
is.
a
It's a
shame
big shame. Big
because
shame. Because I have money and I want to spend it. But I don't want to spend it on your shit.
I don't want to give them a dime
Fuck them. No.
until they get their shit together.
You know?
And this is like I've always said, I've always stopped playing World of Warcraft almost every expansion since Cataclysm. I've played for a couple of months and then I've stopped until the end of the expansion playthrough it. This is the first time I've literally been like, I'm not buying the next expansion. Show
They're fucked.
show me, don't tell me. Show me that you've made a good game and I'll come play it. Don't tell me that it's going to be a good game, I promise. That's kind of where I'm with them. Fuck them.
Yeah, we'll jump. We'll move on anyway
But it's still in
because
my top 10 because I love it.
it's mine as well.
I
100%.
I insult because I care.
He insults because he cares, people.
Yeah, my name's Icy and Sean cares about me.
Jesus, Mother of God. And just before we jump into the final game on the list, you wrote down a couple of honorable mentions. I don't have them with me right now. I don't have them lined up. So you're just going to have to give me like 10 seconds. Just let us know what they are and give me like a one-liner or whatever it might be.
These are honourable mentions because when I'm old and grey and I'm looking back in my life, these are games that I'll think I had a fun time with them and I'll remember them. So it's CS Source. Holds a special place in my heart. I love it. I think it's the first online game that I played like with people I didn't know, and it was just an adventure learning about the whole world and different cultures and stuff like that just through the medium of a game like that, like and meeting online friends and still having those friends today, like really important game to me. So CS Source, Witcher 3, one of the best RPGs in the world, don't really need to say much about that. Dark Souls 2, one of the best. Dark Souls 3. That should be Dark Souls 3. One of the best action games. Is that what you would call it? An action RPG kind of thing. Brilliant game. World building and level design, second to none. There's not a single game on that list that's got better level design than Dark Souls 3. Hollow Knight, again, another game that I'll remember forever. I think Hollow Knight is just...
I thought that was going to be on this list.
Yeah, it's an underrated gem of a game that not enough people know about, which is an absolute sham. It's outstanding. And lastly, on the honourable mentions, might be a little bit controversial to people, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Again, for me, it's one of those, yes, it was jank. Yes, the net code was awful. Yes, it was a bit shit. But it was the first battle royale I played. It was the first real battle royale out there in a world that's just full of them now. And some of the memories that we have playing that game are just second to none. It was a lot of fun. I shouldn't recommend it anymore.
It's not in my top 10, but it's 100% in my honorable mentions, that game. Out of all the ones that you mentioned of your honorable mentions, I'm only going to tip on PUBG. It's just like you said, the amount of stories that we'd have playing that game. Like, the mechanics of the game allowed you to always have, obviously, a different run, but the stuff that happens, there's just the mad fucking shenanigans that would happen in that game.
Yeah.
And obviously...
Like, Call of Duty's Battle Royale and Apex Legends and all that, they're all, in Fortnite, this makes me sound really old, but they're too fast.
The pace, yeah, that's what I was just going to say. The pace of those, it doesn't really work for what I like anyway in a battle royale. I like a slow pace, slow burner kind of methodical. You slowly weave your way through this story. I'm not really a fan of Apex Legends and the counters, the Call of Duties and stuff.
So see, when I was 12, right, and
Don't
the
remember you.
internet started coming out, and you started getting those little boxes that you could plug into the back of your PlayStation 2 to go online and play SOCOM.
Aye.
So see, back then, I had a vision of what playing online games would be like. Oh, there's people from all over the world, and I'm crawling through the grass, and I'm looking through my scope, and I'm going to pick off this guy, and he's going to be from, I don't know, fucking Jamaica or something like that, and I'm going to be like, yes, killed that guy, and I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to enjoy, and it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait for online gaming to be a thing. Then games like Call of Duty came into the picture, and it was all about Twitch aiming and bunny hopping into prone, into bunny hop into prone, and it was just like TTK stats, time to kill. What game has got the best time to kill ratio? What game does? And somewhere along the way, people forgot that you're supposed to be playing games and having fun. And when we first started playing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, that's how I felt. I felt like I was playing a game with my friends, and I was having fun. And we were holed up in this little house, and we could hear fighting all around about us. And we're like, do we go get involved? Do we just hide out here and let them kill each other and pick off the rest? Or will they all congregate here and we'll just get butt fucked in the middle of all of them? And like,
It was like, I'm just gonna jump in with an extra little story, or like, I don't think you're with the four stack at the time, but if you were, we're holed up in a house, and there's another squad. I don't know if they're outside or in the house beside us, but we're chatting to this squad, saying, "Come out! No, you come out! No, you come out! You come in! I'm not coming in! You come out!" And it's just these little things that just happen. It's like, I'm not fucking coming out. I know we were basically talking to this squad for, I'd say, about 5 to 6 minutes, because the circle was coming in, but we just wouldn't come out of the fucking house, and we were just coaxing them to come in, and they were coaxing us to come out. It's just shit like that, like random ass shit like that in a game. Just made that, like, and obviously we probably, I don't know if we won or not, but fucking, we remember that moment.
What that game, why that worked is because it gave you the time to do that. If you sat about for 6 minutes outside a building in Call of Duty, Warzone, you would have been dead 15 times over. Like, it's too fast. It doesn't give you the time, like, to kind of get involved,
weave the
and
story.
create stories. Whereas I think PUBG still does that today. The problem is
it's full of hackers,
full of bots and hackers. So
they've diluted it too much. They've put too much fucking, your favorite word, battle passes in it, and all this shit, like dressed up as a fucking banana or wherever the fuck. Like, it's, they could have taken that game in such a different direction, I think, but they didn't, because your man left. I think your man saw the writing on the wall and was like, fuck this, I want to make something different. Brendan Green, all the way from Ireland, from Kildare, right here, just putting that out there. But he's in Holland, I think, with his new company making a new game. So
he abandoned your country.
He did.
Because it's so shit.
He moved to Korea or something like that to start a family or something. I don't know what the fuck he did. He was a modder. He was a modder on Arma 2, and he made a Battle Royale mod or something like that, and then became famous. And then blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're going to move on. Those were the honorable mentions. And now we get to, I want to say, even though it's the last choice, it's your numero uno choice.
As my numero uno
and choice. Not only is it your numero uno choice, I believe it is Coldy's multiple numero uno choices.
Well, yes and no. Yes, in that it's multiple because you said I could only have one game from a franchise. Yes. But I had to, like, order them in order to try and figure out which one was the number one game. So
we're talking about Final Fantasy, for those who don't know what we're looking at or what we're talking about.
Yes, specifically the one I put to the top of the list. So if I can only have one from the franchise, it's Final Fantasy VIII. Is my preferred or my favorite Final Fantasy, and that's some people
Ooh,
consider that
ooh,
controversial because
it's controversial.
it's the bastard's son between 7 and 9. It's the one that 7 came out, everyone adored it, and then 8 came out and it wasn't 7, so everyone was pissed off. But then 9 came out and it was cute and adorable, and everybody loved 9 because of Vivi. So 8 kind of just gets lost in it. But I think Final Fantasy 8 is an outstanding game. I think that the story is basically a bit of a love story with some time travel thrown in, which I'm okay with. I enjoyed it. Um, enough for it to be number one on my list. I love the story, to be honest. I love the characters. I think Cypher is a great bad guy. I think that Sorceress Adia and Adele and Ultimisia are great baddies. I think that Squall has some issues with his character development, but I'm not too hung up on it. I think Renoa and Zell and Quistis and all that are all great characters. I think that the story, end to end, is just brilliant. Um, I think that the gameplay, again, people have issue with it. I think it's great for my style of gameplay where I can slowly just draw forever and get 100 of something and then feel overpowered. I'm okay with that in the gameplay. I think the junction system is much more complex and involving than people give it credit for because they got confused by it and just stuck fire and strength junction and just got on with their day. I think that it's a great system. I think the mini games, the Triple Triad, the card game, is the best mini game in any game ever. Someone tell me I'm wrong because I'm not.
You're wrong.
What is the best? What mini game do you think is better
Number
than
9.
the card game in 9?
Yeah. See, I'm just saying that because number 9 is my favorite.
But the card game in 9 is confusing and ridiculous and stupid.
So you don't agree with me?
No. 9 is a great game. To give you my order, it goes number 8, Final Fantasy 8, then Final Fantasy 7 slash 7 Remake, then 10, then 9, then 12, then 6. And that's a controversial ordering because people love 6 as well. But it's fine. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, so that's my number 1. Final Fantasy 8. It's my bastard child, and I'll have no one say a bad word about it. I love it.
I just did.
No, you didn't. What'd you say?
Bastard 8. I said it didn't have the best minigame.
Well, you're fundamentally wrong. Like, it doesn't
You're
matter
wrong.
what you.
Change my mind.
Yeah.
I know, like
That is a joke.
it's Jesus Christ, fucking hell, poor Kevin. But yeah, no, Square presents Final Fantasy. We know, but anyway, yes, we'll go back to the main screen. Final Fantasy is your.
I think we need to come up with some character development for Icy. I think we should move away from my name's Icy, right? And I think he should
diabetes man, whatever the fuck, Christ.
No, I think he should be Kathy Burke and Harry Enfield and Chums. Hello, Mrs.
Oh yeah.
Patterson. Can I have a sandwich, please, Mrs. Patterson? See, Mrs. Patterson.
Oh God, I wish someone knew what we were talking about. And they did. I'm so sorry. He's not sorry. He says this all the time. But anyway, that was the show. Coldy whipping out 10 of his favorite games across multiple franchises.
To chat about for a little bit, and then next week you go do the same.
We might leave mine till a while because most of mine are nearly the same as yours. Actually, I think I have 4 or 5 that are the same. So therefore, I wouldn't want to be regurgitating the same shit because nearly, I'd say the same things nearly. I'd have like a different story, like what game when I was playing like Final Fantasy, for instance. It took me a long while to finish it, like quite a long while. Like I'm talking about weeks, nearly went on months. But there's a reason behind all that, and that's why I remember that game so fondly and
Shut
stuff
up,
like
idiot.
that. Hmm. No,
What?
I'm not an idiot. You're an idiot. You idiot.
You
No,
idiot. You
it's because my
moron.
memory card got corrupted twice.
Wow, harsh.
Being on the last disc and that getting corrupted, that will put you in a fucking coma. Trust
Yeah,
me.
that would. That would.
And then I had to steal. And that's a story for another day. But anyway, guys,
Okay.
ladies
Anyway,
and gentlemen, that was
we
the
are done.
show.
That is a
Hour
podcast
and a
slash
half.
game show.
I thought we were going to do an hour. We're not professional. I said we were
Yeah.
professional. We're not professional. That just proves it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please join our OnlyFans.
What?
What?
What? Didn't know my camera was on.
Anyway, we're going to love you and leave you until next week. Please
Yeah.
like, share, and subscribe. We'd like to hit more than 20 views on the next one. That'd be very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds good. What are we going to sing to play out? I think we should sing Hopelessly Devoted by Olivia Newton-John.
I'm going to let you take that one away because I'm not sure I'm familiar with that song.
You don't go away.
When you start singing, I'll join in and then we'll put it
Okay.
onto the. Okay?
Okay.
Wait, we say
My
later. No,
first
you're real. We say goodbye and then we sing the song.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Heartbroken. My eyes are not the first to cry. You said you'd join in.
I don't know the lyrics. I don't know the song.
Hopelessly devoted to you. But now.
I'm gonna just step
Right, stop the show.
away.
I'm done. I'm going to bed.